As we delve into the myth of Medusa, let's consider why her tale has endured through centuries. Does Medusa remain just a monster, or is there more symbolism under her myth's surface? What might her story tell us about ancient and modern society?
When you think about it, there's something deeply human about Medusa's story. It's not just about her turning people to stone, it's about transformation and fear. How does this reflect the fears society had back then and the fears we have today?
It's fascinating how Medusa symbolizes both victim and villain. The narrative complexity can parallel our own capacity for empathy or judgment. Maybe she's a mirror reflecting societal attitudes towards women in power.
That's intriguing, but let's not forget the artistic and cultural impact Medusa has had. From statues to paintings, she has become an icon of strength and rage, often misunderstood. What if this historical portrayal has influenced how we perceive rebellion?
Truly, Medusa's myth brings many layers to unravel. As we continue, let's ponder, are we celebrating Medusa as a hero of transformation, or are we preserving fear? How do these perspectives shape our understanding of power and victimhood? As we examine the origins of Medusa, it's intriguing to ponder how her transformation from a beautiful maid into a monster was more than mere punishment. Could it represent societal fears of uncontrollable power, especially in women? What does this metamorphosis reveal about ancient societal norms and anxieties?
Precisely, Michelle. The tale of her origins can be seen as a metaphor for the fear of feminine power. Medusa's gaze, turning people to stone, could be the ultimate representation of this fear, the power to immobilize and silence. Doesn't this reflect the ways in which society has sought to control powerful women throughout history?
True, Kai. But what if Medusa's story also reflects the duality in public perception? How transformation and the subsequent demonization highlight a societal conflict, the struggle to empathize with or vilify those who challenge norms. Can we see her as both a product and a victim of her time?
That adds an interesting layer, Ryan. Alongside cultural fears, Medusa has been immortalized through art as a symbol of defiance and strength. Perhaps these early interpretations were less about fear and more about capturing the essence of revolt. How has this influenced modern depictions of strength?
It's fascinating how Medusa's story expands into a discourse on societal power dynamics and victimhood. As we reflect upon these perspectives, can we identify whether we sympathize with Medusa or fear her? What does this say about our individual and collective views on empowerment? As we move deeper into Medusa's symbolism, let's consider how her image transcends her monstrous form. Can we say she's evolved into a symbol of resilience against injustice, rather than just a figure of fear? What does this transformation reveal about how we interpret myths in modern contexts?
Indeed, Michelle. Medusa's defiance against victimhood resonates today, as she's recast by some as a feminist icon. Isn't it interesting how a figure, historically silenced, now speaks volumes about reclaiming power? How does this reinterpretation affect our perceptions of gender and justice?
But let's not overlook how this transformation complicates our moral compass. Turning Medusa from a cautionary tale into a symbol of empowerment challenges us to reflect on how narratives are crafted. How do we decide which aspects of history to resurrect or redefine?
This is a brilliant point, Ryan. The art world has embraced Medusa, often portraying her as a misunderstood heroine. But isn't this just another layer of myth-making? Does this artistic reshaping dilute her original narrative, or does it enrich our cultural heritage?
As we delve into Medusa in art and literature, it's worth considering how her image has evolved from a feared monster to a complex symbol. How do these artistic interpretations influence our modern understanding of her myth? Are artists and writers reshaping her legacy to provoke thought about societal issues?
Absolutely, Michelle. Medusa's transformation from a figure of horror to a symbol of empowerment reflects a broader shift in cultural narratives. Artists have used her tale to challenge traditional depictions of gender roles. What does this creative freedom say about our evolving perspectives on authority and defiance?
Yet, isn't there a risk of oversimplifying her complex story? Elevating Medusa as a symbol might gloss over her darker aspects which serve as cautionary tales. How do we balance honoring her resilience with acknowledging the myth's origins?
It's intriguing you mention that, Ryan. Modern adaptations in literature often embrace her as misunderstood, a victim of circumstance, almost like a tragic hero. Could the shift spark discussions on how we empathize with resistance? Does it change how we address past injustices in new narratives?
Our discussions reveal that the ongoing reinterpretation of Medusa in art and literature is both a reflection and a catalyst for deeper questions about power, victimhood, and resilience. How do these narratives inform our views on justice and transformation today, and what further conversations might they inspire? Medusa has morphed beyond her mythological roots into a symbol of empowerment in modern media. How can today's reinterpretations of her story challenge our views on justice and resilience?
Exactly, Michelle. Today, Medusa represents defiance against being unfairly demonized. Isn't it fascinating how she's been reused in narratives challenging patriarchal systems? What does this tell us about reclaiming power through myth?
While that's inspiring, there's a complexity in lifting Medusa as a symbol. Are we at risk of glossing over the challenging, darker aspects of her story? How do we preserve the cautionary elements amidst her newfound icon status?
That's insightful, Ryan. Many modern adaptations cast her as a misunderstood figure, navigating her victimization to heroism. Could this invite broader dialogues on empathy towards misunderstood resistance movements? How does it challenge our narrative biases?
These modern interpretations of Medusa indeed open up fresh conversations on power and reformation. How can we use these narratives to reshape discussions on justice and transformation in both myth and reality? As Medusa's influence permeates modern culture, it's intriguing to ponder how she challenges our current views on justice and resilience. Could these narratives reshape our understanding of power dynamics?
Absolutely, Michelle. Medusa is repurposed in modern narratives as a defiant figure against unjust demonization. Isn't it remarkable how her story has become a tool for questioning patriarchal norms? What does this say about reclaiming narratives of power?
While this transformation is compelling, there's a challenge in elevating Medusa as a singular icon. Might we overlook the cautionary, darker aspects inherent in her original myth? How do we maintain this narrative balance?
Insightful point, Ryan. Modern storytelling often recasts her as misunderstood, potentially fostering empathy for other misunderstood entities. Could the shift provoke deeper dialogues on narrative biases and justice?
These discussions indeed illustrate how Medusa's legacy continues to evoke transforming narratives. How do these stories compel us to rethink justice and transformation in myth and reality alike? As we conclude, let's reflect on Medusa's enduring legacy in modern culture. How does her transformation into a symbol of empowerment challenge our perceptions of power and victimhood in today's world?
Medusa has undeniably become a figure of defiance against historical injustices. Isn't it fascinating how narratives can be reshaped to inspire change and challenge societal norms? What does this say about the power of myth in redefining historical contexts?
Yeah, it's crucial not to simplify her complexity. Medusa's transformation risks overshadowing the cautionary elements of her myth. How can we honor both her darker origins and her modern symbolism effectively?
It's intriguing how art and literature recast Medusa as misunderstood, prompting empathy and reflection. Could this provoke broader societal discussions on marginalization and justice, inviting new perspectives on historical narratives?
Our exploration reveals Medusa as a potent symbol for rethinking narratives of power and justice. How will her evolving story continue to inspire discussions on transformation and resilience in the future?